All right, I'd like to welcome you to this edition of In the Conference Room with Marquez Lee. And I hope you're sitting back and relaxed and enjoying. Yes, we are in the holiday season. I know it's cold outside. Yes, it's cold here in Detroit. And I have a special guest in from Chicago. I know it's cold. Oh, it's cold everywhere.
It's
But we
cold.
want it's cold, but we want you to sit back and relax and enjoy the conversation. My name is Marquez Lee. I'm your host of In the Conference Room, where we talk to business leaders from not across just this great city of Detroit, the state of Michigan, but across the country. We try to provide you with information that you can use as you continue to grow your business and grow yourself personally as well as professionally as well. So sit back and enjoy your conversation. Along those lines, I have a certified professional coach. Ms. Elisa Kaplin is going to join me for a few moments, and we're going to talk about the power of coaching. Now, full disclosure, Lisa, I have been working with Lisa. She's a lead trainer for an organization. I will mention it, IPEC, and I've been one of her students. And so I've been so mesmerized by the conversation. I wanted her to kind of take this conversation and talk about the power of coaching. So, Lisa Kaplan, thanks for joining me in the conference room. Good morning.
My pleasure. Thanks, Mark. I'm loving having you as a student. You're a great student.
Well, you're a great lead instructor. Thank you very much. And so let's start right there. For those who may be new to coaching, for
hmm
those who may be new to coaching or they're not even aware of necessarily what it is, how would you define professional coaching, and what makes it different from mentoring as well as therapy as well?
Yeah, it's a great question. So, professional coaching is really helping people set goals, just going from one place forward to another place that they want to go to. It could be sports related, it could be business related. Obviously, that's what you talk about. It could be personal related, wanting to achieve something in your personal life. It's all about having a safe space to talk things through in order to move forward. And the difference between coaching and mentoring is really somebody who has been there, done that, and it'll kind of show you the ropes. Whereas coaching, it's whether I've been there or done that doesn't matter because I'm helping you understand your growth versus using me as an example. And the difference, and I'm giving the short versions, by the way, the difference between coaching and therapy, depending on the therapy modality, most therapy tends to focus on the past and how the past affects the present. Now, some coaching taps into that, but we don't really process in that space. Therapy also tends to focus on mental health, mental illness, and even trauma recovery, those types of things. Whereas coaching is very much focused on action, on awareness and action.
Mhm. You have you're also a psychologist
This
as
is true.
well. Yes, and so that leads me to my question: what first drew you to coaching? Give us a brief overview of your background, and then what drew you to becoming a certified professional coach?
Yeah, I became a psychologist while I was having my three kids, so there was a lot of it was a very intense time, and I loved therapy. I loved learning about it. But what I found often why it maybe wasn't a good fit for me in the long run is that there was a lot of time spent kind of processing in the past. And I loved the part of therapy where we would talk about moving forward and action steps, and that's really coaching. And so I had stopped doing therapy for a few years while I was raising my kids. And then I was debating kind of going back, and a good friend told me about coaching. So I decided to check it out, and I just fell in love with it. And it just fit who I am as a person better. I love psychology. I believe in it. I send people to therapy frequently. It just, for me, this was a better fit. I love the positive component of it. How do we move forward in our lives, and achieve what we want to achieve?
Was there a moment when you were considering doing it and you decided to do it? What was that one aha moment that clicked for you that this is what you really wanted to do?
Ooh, what a great question. Somewhere in my training, you mentioned IPEC, that's where obviously I did my coach training as well. Somewhere in my training, I was doing the practice coaching with somebody and I saw them shift, have this aha moment and whoa, I hadn't thought of it that way. And that was it. I was hooked. I was like, oh, I want to help people have that more. I want that more for
Mhm.
myself. And so that was really, then I just, right around that time, I thought, do I need to do therapy anymore just because I have the degree? Like it was, so what? I'll carry my therapy education with me wherever I go. This is what I really want to do. And that's when I made the shift.
There are many perceptions and misconceptions about coaching. I
Yeah.
don't want you to obviously address the perceptions, but address the misconceptions about coaching. What are some of them?
Well, some of the misconceptions are that we tell people what to do. Like,
Mhm.
I'm going to be a football coach and yell at you, Mark, go do this. And it's not telling people what to do. That can be fun sometimes. It's definitely not. It's really standing side by side with someone, helping them have the awareness, you holding space for them to do that. I think the other misconception is that because it's an industry that's not licensed by the government, that it's like a not a real field. But those of us who've been truly educated as coaches and certified as coaches know that it is a professional, real field, and it's very beneficial to people. I think the consumer needs to watch out because people call themselves coaches with no training. And I think that's the other piece where there's a lot of confusion.
So when you talk about coaching and the people, uh, who benefits from it? Who should in fact go for coaching? Are there any people who will particularly benefit from it? And address those who say, "Well, I'm not ready to be coached."
I mean, honestly, everyone can benefit for it. Who could from it? Who couldn't benefit from having a safe space where you can talk through what you want to achieve in your life and come up with a strategy or plan to do that, or even figure out why you haven't been doing that, which is the case for a lot of us. Like, I say I want this, but I haven't done it. It's kind of like the New Year's resolution that keeps happening every year. So, I really think almost anyone could benefit from it. Wait, what's you asked me a second part to the question. Now I forgot what it was.
And talk about those who say they're not ready.
Oh, ready. Well, when you're ready, let us know because coaching works best when someone's really motivated and really ready to do it. I would say if you're saying to yourself you're not ready, how come? What's the story you're saying about that? What if you go another year not achieving that goal that you say you want so badly? What if you go another 5 years, 10 years? Are you going to look back and go, I should have hired a coach 10 years ago? I would have accomplished this thing that I've been wanting to do forever.
Yeah, yeah. And we talked earlier about aha moments. And a lot of times we hear about people who may have gone through coaching. They may say, I had a breakthrough. I had a breakthrough, whether it was personally or professionally. From your perspective, obviously without breaching any confidentiality, we certainly would understand that.
Of
Can you
course.
identify or just kind of share with a couple of the breakthrough moments when that individual or individuals realized they had a breakthrough while being coached?
It's that, and I'll give it to you in generalities. It's that, oh, I've been holding myself back from doing this thing by what I've been saying to myself. So often we say, oh, I'm not doing this because I don't have enough money, or my spouse doesn't support it, or, I'm too old, I'm too tired, I'm too whatever. And those are all just stories. And so the aha moments come when someone realizes, like, whoa, I'm the one who's been telling myself this story, and I'm the one who's been holding myself back. And so those are the most powerful moments of, okay, if I'm telling myself a story, I get to tell myself a different story and I get to stop holding myself back. The other
Mhm.
big aha that I see come up with people is they think they want something because they think they should do it. They're, oh, I should. People told me I should, but they don't really want to. So they keep not doing it. And so the big aha there is, turns out I don't really want to do that. And it's
Mhm.
okay. And then what do I want to do? If I've let that other thing go because I don't really want to do it, then I get to decide what I do want to do.
I'm hearing you say that it's not necessarily someone telling you to do it. It's more so you do it when you're ready to do it, when you feel like, you might need some additional support moving forward.
Exactly, right. And so often we want to do something, but it's kind of in our head, and we've got these stories going or fears going. And a coach really gives you this completely safe space to talk it through. And sometimes, even just me repeating back to my clients what they've said to me, they're like, did I just say that? It's hard to hear yourself. And so, that really safe space, coaches don't judge. We don't tell people what to do. We don't try to fix people. I mean, where else in your life can you find that? It's not so easy.
Yeah.
So, coach gives you a very unique opportunity to look at your own stuff.
And yet, a lot of times we find out as we go through our career, some people find out that CEOs and executives and even athletes and other successful people, however you want to define success, have coaches.
Yeah.
And people may ask, well, if they're successful, Lisa, why do they need to have a coach?
And I think almost all of them would say I'm successful because I've had a coach, that because
Mm.
a coach has helped me get to the next level. But the other thing is that when really successful people continue to have a coach, they just see the benefit of having that person who's there for you, who's willing to listen and not judge you and not fix anything. And it's such a gift to have somebody in your life like that. I mean, it's priceless.
I heard you just say not judge you. And it's so easy to judge other people based on what they have, based on their level of success. So when you
Totally.
talk about coaching, are you coming from a space of judging people? I know you said non-judging or non-judgmental, but do people, when they go into a coaching session, do they know that they're going to be judged or that's non-judgmental? Is that, talk about that for a moment.
I often say to people when we have a discovery call, and that's just a call to see if we're a good fit. I often say, I'm going to take all judgment out of this our relationship, and then I often say, "Are you?" Because who most of us judge is ourselves.
Mhm.
And so that's what we talk about is what if we let go of the judgment of ourselves and of others and of situations, and then from there, you know, so much growth can happen. So it's really just talking about letting the judgment go. And as a coach, we don't judge. You can have any feeling you want, any thought you want. I'm here to support you and help you figure it out.
We're going through challenging times. This is a business podcast, not a political podcast, anything of that sort at all. But been a tough year for a lot of people, a
Yeah.
challenging year.
Yeah.
And so talk about that in the context of coaching if someone's grappling with, hey, we're going into a new year. Past the 12 months are behind me. I got a fresh start moving forward. Why should they consider coaching moving forward? Number one, so it's a two-pronged question. It's a stacking question. Inside joke. Inside joke. But one is why should they consider coaching going into the new year as they prepare for a brand new, fresh 2026?
So the main reason to consider coaching is asking yourself, what have I been saying I want to do that I haven't been doing? Or how have I been holding myself back in some way that I like know I am, but I can't quite put a figure on it or do it differently. It's kind of that New Year's Eve resolution that we say year after year after year. There's a
And
reason.
I break by the second of every year, but
Right. Well, the national average is the 13th. So just so you
okay.
know, you got a few, right? Not even quite two full weeks. But it's to say to ourselves, I keep making this resolution and I'm not doing anything. I want to figure out, is this what I really want to do? And if so, how am I going to do it? And it's like that's the great thing about coaching because it's so action oriented and moving forward. It's like anything you've been saying you want to do and you haven't been doing, or you've been a little fearful of doing this, it opens the door for you to do that.
Yeah. And as you're talking about opening the doors, I know we have a few moments remaining. Couple other questions, but think about, I'm going to rephrase that question in terms of what can people expect in a coaching session? So that you've had your discovery call that you referenced a few moments ago to see whether or not there's a fit. And so
Yeah.
Mark is saying, you know what? Yeah, I'm interested, Lisa. So what can I expect in a coaching session?
A coaching session, we start out with what do you want to accomplish in that session today? That's a really important piece. So the client brings like, here's what I want to talk about, here's what I want to work on. When we look at like why is that important? How will we know we've been successful? Those kinds of questions of like kind of how do we measure success in the session? Then we dive into whatever it is you want to work on. And the way I coach is we dive into the inner block that's holding you back, not the outer block. So you could say, well, my partner does this, or, the economy's this, and all that's true. But let's figure out what's really holding you back. So we kind of peel some layers and dive into the inner piece. And then at the end, we talk about what are you going to do differently? And you make some commitments. So we have some goals so that the next time you come in, I'm going to ask you, hey, Mark, you said you were going to do this and this and this by this date. How did all that go? So I'm also an accountability partner to kind of help you figure out why you're doing something or why you're not doing something.
One of the things we've had many conversations about energy and
Yes.
shifting energy. I
Yeah.
find that a very powerful concept. Now, people are tuning in and saying, what the heck is he talking about? Energy and energy as it relates to coaching and core energy. What is that concept about at a very high level?
In a very high level, if you think about it, like you kind of think of it two ways. One is when we're in that kind of reaction space, that fight, flight, freeze response. Think about that like it's a normal space, but do we want to make our big life decisions from that space? Probably not. So do we want to make our decisions from that low energy space, which is normal and helpful if you're about to get in a car accident kind of thing, but not helpful for your big life decisions? Or do we want to release that energy and have energy that's more positive, optimistic, hopeful, open, opportunity seeking? And that energy is the energy we probably want to use to make our big decisions, figure out our relationships, what kind of conversations do we want to have with people. So when we shift our energy into that, away from the fight flight and into the not fight flight, completely different world we're looking at.
So as we wrap up, I want to ask one other quick question in terms of someone's tuning in and they're getting enthused and excited. Well, maybe this is something I should consider. And by the way, I want to clarify, we're not just talking here business coaching or professional coaching. It can be personal coaching, whether it's relationship or other
Definitely.
aspects of your life. And a lot of times I think we distilled it, Lisa, down to maybe two or three buckets. But I want to make sure that we broaden the lens and say that it's more than just that professional slash, work related coaching as well. So if
Totally.
someone's tuning in and they're getting excited, what questions should they ask themselves? And then what steps should they take if they really want to do this moving forward, being a coachee?
Being a coachee. So the what questions to ask themselves might be, what's an area that I've been holding myself back or not doing? And I keep saying I'm going to do this thing and I'm not doing this thing. Or even an awareness that I'm afraid or tense or upset, any of those feelings, and it seems to be holding me back in some way. So it's that I know there's more here. I just don't know how to get there, would be some of the questions to ask. And then I forgot the second part. I'm so bad at two questions at once, Mark. What was the second part? The
And
steps they should take.
the steps they should take.
So do some homework. If you're going to hire a coach, look for a coach who's certified professionally through the ICF or international coach training program that they have a certification, that they've done quite a bit of training, and then ask them what coaching looks like for them. Because some people call themselves coaches, but what they really are is consultants or mentors. Nothing wrong with that, but that might not be what you want. So have a good conversation to see if it's a good fit. Do you feel like this person can really hear you and resonate with you and be fully present for you to really help you achieve the things that you want to achieve?
Well, Lisa Kaplin, I want to thank you. And before we go, how can people get in touch with you? And I do want you to reference, it's okay to reference IPEC in terms of just kind of give a very brief overview of IPEC and then segue into how can people get in touch with you as well.
Yeah, so IPEC is an international coach training program. It is certified through the ICF, which is the governing body of certifications. IPEC is a very unique coach training program. It's very intense, as Mark, you are well aware. We keep you hopping. It's a very intense, powerful coach training program, and it's different from a lot of other coach training because we really focus on the inner block of what's really truly holding people back. It's not all the outer things, those are there. It's the inner pieces. So that's kind of the short answer. And we talk a lot about energy, and it's life changing. It's really all
Mhm.
about raising your consciousness and your awareness.
And how
Um,
can people get in touch? And how can people get in touch with you?
Lisa Kaplin, Kaplin.com is my website, and my email is lisa@lisakaplin.com. So I made it kind of simple, except if you spell my name right, Kaplin.
Well, Lisa, I want to thank you very much for your time. I know you're busy. And for
Thanks a
all of you
lot.
tuning in, I got to tell you, she's awesome. Yes, I have been involved in this training program. It's phenomenal. The people that my classmates, the cohort, however you want to call us, you
Yeah.
truly become close and you truly work together and depend on each other. And so I know a lot of you here see me as providing resources and ideas and business ideas as well as contacts. But beyond that, I would encourage you as you enter the new year. And if you have some things that you think you can grow or you want to focus on, consider getting coached or maybe becoming a coach. So, Lisa Kaplin, again, I want to thank you very much for your time. You're awesome. Happy holidays to
Thanks,
you as
Mark.
well.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
too.
And for all of you tuning into this week's edition of In the Conference Room with Mark S. Yeah, when you go out, make it a great day, make it a great week, stay warm. Eventually, it'll be warm in about 90 days. All right. All right, well, make it a great day. We'll talk to you next week in the conversation with Mark S. Take care, everyone.